Picture this. It's 3 a.m. I'm barely functioning on 2 hours of sleep, and my 6-week-old son decides to have the most epic poop explosion I've ever witnessed. I'm talking full body coverage, from his neck down to his toes, somehow even in his hair. I literally stood there in the nursery, covered in, well, you can imagine, crying harder than my baby because I had no idea how this even happened. I thought I was completely failing as a first-time mom. Here I was, supposed to be this natural maternal figure, and I couldn't even keep poop contained in a diaper. I felt like everyone else had figured out some secret parenting code that nobody bothered to share with me. The exhaustion, the overwhelm, the constant feeling that I was doing everything wrong, it was suffocating. Little did I know there were 5 simple, science-backed newborn hacks that would have prevented this entire disaster and saved my sanity during those brutal early weeks. If you're drowning in diaper changes, sleep deprivation, and feeling like you're doing everything wrong, these essential parenting tips are about to transform your newborn care routine completely. Because trust me, you're not failing, you just haven't discovered these game-changing techniques yet. Hear us the truth nobody tells you about those first few weeks with a newborn. You'll spend more time changing diapers than you ever thought humanly possible. We're talking 10 to 12 diaper changes per day, often in the middle of the night when you're running on fumes. Every parent has been there, standing in a dark nursery at 2 a.m., fumbling with wipes, and wondering if this overwhelming cycle ever ends. But here's what makes it even harder. Most new parents don't realize they're making newborn care way more complicated than it needs to be. You're changing diapers after every single pee, losing sleep over unnecessary night wakings, and dealing with constant poop explosions that could have been totally prevented. The exhaustion builds up, and suddenly you're questioning every single parenting decision you make. Society tells us that motherhood should come naturally, that we should instinctively know what to do. But nobody mentions that newborns don't come with instruction manuals, and that feeling completely lost is actually the normal experience for 99% of first-time moms. The isolation makes it worse. You're stuck at home, exhausted, wondering why everyone else seems to have this figured out while you're barely surviving. I used to think this chaos was just part of being a new mom, that I had to accept months of sleep deprivation and constant stress as some kind of maternal initiation. Turns out, there are specific techniques, backed by actual pediatric research and child development studies, that can cut your diaper changes in half and transform those nightmare newborn essentials into manageable, even peaceful moments. The difference isn't about being a better mom. It's about understanding your baby's biology and working with it instead of against it. Okay, here's the first newborn hack that literally saved my sanity. Around 6 weeks of age, your baby will start doing fewer poops overnight. This sounds like such a small thing, but it's absolutely life-changing. Once you notice this pattern, you can stop changing diapers after every single pee during the night. Yes, you heard that right. You don't need to change your baby every time they wet their diaper overnight. Here's why this baby hack works. Diaper changes are incredibly stimulating for newborns, which makes it so much harder to get them back to sleep. By minimizing those midnight changes, you're reducing the time both of you spend awake each night. The key is applying barrier cream before bedtime once you notice the reduced overnight pooping. This protects their skin and lets you safely leave wet diapers until morning. The science behind this is fascinating. Around 6 weeks, your baby's digestive system matures significantly. Their stomach capacity increases, and their intestinal motility patterns change, naturally reducing nighttime bowel movements. Pediatric gastroenterologists call this the digestive rhythm establishment phase. You're not being lazy by changing fewer diapers. You're actually working with your baby's natural biological development. But here's hack number 2 that pairs perfectly with this. If your little one starts soaking through diapers overnight, simply size up for nighttime use only. I know it sounds weird buying to different diaper sizes, but trust me on this parenting hack, the extra padding means more absorption capacity, which prevents those 3 a.m. sheet changes that leave everyone exhausted and cranky. Here's what nobody tells you about diaper sizing. The weight ranges are suggestions. Now, if you've got a baby boy, this next hack is going to save you from so much frustration. I learned this the hard way when my son peed on me literally every single diaper change for the first month. I'd scramble to grab another diaper, but I was always way too slow to avoid the mess. Here's what no one tells you. When you remove a baby boy's diaper, it's the exposure to cold air that triggers them to urinate. It's not by choice. It's an automatic reflex. The science behind this is called the micturition reflex, triggered by sudden temperature changes on the genitals. When warm skin meets cold air, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which controls bladder function. Understanding this makes the solution so much simpler than just hoping for the best. So here are 2 simple mom hacks to prevent this. Either run a cold, wet wipe across their belly before removing the diaper, or flap the front of the diaper a few times before taking it off completely. I know the diaper flapping sounds ridiculous, but that controlled cold air exposure will make him pee while he's still contained in the diaper. Trust me, this baby care trick will save your wool, your clothes, and your sanity. Here's a bonus technique I discovered. Keep a small washcloth or burp cloth handy during changes. Even with the cold air trick, sometimes there's a delayed reaction. Having that protective barrier ready means you're covered for any surprises. It has become such an automatic part of my diaper changing routine that I do it even for girls now. Better safe than sorry. Here is the hack that every first-time mom needs to know about poop explosions, and this applies to all babies, not just boys. When you're dressing your little one, always choose onesies or shirts where the fabric overlaps at the shoulders. This design detail makes all the difference during those inevitable blowouts. When a poop explosion happens, and it will happen, you can pull the clothing down over their body instead of up over their head. This prevents you from smearing poop all over your baby's face, hair, and body. The first time I discovered this hack, I literally wanted to cry with relief. Instead of dealing with a full-body poop bath situation, it was just a simple clothing change. Here's an additional clothing hack. Dress your baby in layers during those explosive-prone newborn weeks. A thin cotton onesie under their regular outfit creates a protective barrier. If the onesie gets messy, you can remove it while keeping the outer layer clean. It's like insurance for your sanity and your baby's comfort. The envelope neck design exists specifically for this purpose. Those overlapping shoulder seams weren't an accident. Baby clothing designers knew exactly what they were doing. But somehow nobody tells new parents about this brilliant feature. All right, here's exactly how to implement these newborn hacks starting tonight. First, observe your baby's overnight pooping patterns for 3 to 4 nights. Keep a simple log by your bedside. Just mark down diaper changes and whether it was wet only or wet plus poop. Most babies establish their pattern between 6 to 8 weeks, but some start as early as 4 weeks. Once you notice 2 to 3 consecutive nights with minimal or no overnight poops, you're ready for the night diaper strategy. Apply a generous layer of barrier cream before the bedtime diaper. I am talking enough to create a visible protective layer. Zinc oxide creams work best because they repel moisture while allowing skin to breathe. For the diaper sizing hack, buy just 1 package of the next size up initially. Don't invest in bulk until you test how they work for your baby. Put the larger size on right before bedtime and check for leaks in the morning. The diaper should feel snug, but not tight around the legs and waist. If you're seeing red marks, size up again. Comfort is key for longer wear. Here's your boy-baby game plan. Practice the cold air technique during daytime changes first. When you're alert and have good lighting, keep the washcloth within arm's reach. And don't feel silly about the diaper flapping. It works. Some moms find that counting to 3 before fully removing the diaper gives them the perfect timing window for the poop explosion prevention. Check your baby's current wardrobe tonight. Look for those envelope shoulder seams. They'll have overlapping fabric at the shoulder line. If most of your onesies don't have this feature, add a few to your next shopping list. In the meantime, remember, always pull messy clothes down. Never up and over the head. Set realistic expectations for yourself. These hacks won't eliminate all overnight wake-ups or prevent every messy situation. What they will do is reduce the frequency and intensity of these challenges by about 60 to 70%. Some nights will still be tough. That's normal and doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Track your progress for 1 week after implementing these changes. Note your sleep quality, the number of overnight diaper changes, and your overall stress levels. Most parents see significant improvement within 3 to 5 days. If something isn't working, adjust rather than abandon the approach entirely. Every baby is different, and fine-tuning these techniques to your specific situation is part of the process. Which of these newborn hacks are you going to try first? Drop a comment below and let me know. I love hearing about your wins and even your challenges, because that's how we all learn together. If these parenting tips helped you feel more confident about those overwhelming early weeks, make sure to subscribe for more science-backed mom hacks that actually work. I share new first-time mom tips every Tuesday and Thursday because honestly, we all need more support during this beautiful but exhausting phase. Next week, I'm covering sleep training techniques that don't involve crying it out. And the week after that, we're diving into feeding hacks that make bottle preparation so much easier. Here's what I want you to remember. You're not behind, you're not failing, and you're definitely not alone in feeling overwhelmed. Every single mom in this community has stood in that dark nursery wondering if she was cut out for this. The difference is having the right information and techniques to work with your baby's natural patterns instead of fighting against them. And seriously, if you found even one of these baby care hacks helpful, please hit that like button. It helps other overwhelmed moms discover these tips too. Share this video with any new mom friends who might need these strategies. Sometimes the smallest tip can transform someone's entire week. Come back and tell me how it goes. I read every single comment, and your success stories inspire the content I create. Whether it's your first full night of sleep or just successfully preventing one poop explosion, celebrate those wins with us. Because let's be real, we're all just trying to figure this out together, one diaper change at a time.